Welcome everyone, this is Master's Joke, also Master's Joke 75 on Instagram. Has anyone watched The Mandalorian episode 4 yet? I thought it was great. I know it was only, there's going to be people moaning about it because it was only like about, was it half an hour, 35 minutes long? And it was, you know, it was about rescuing a young boy that got taken by some big bird dinosaur creature, pterodactyl style. But I thought it was good. I really like it. I love Bo-Katan. I'm glad to see that she was able to take her helmet off to eat her meal around the campfire. But no, really good episode. Really enjoying that series. So I thought, let's open up another Mandalorian. So this is another figure from my Christmas Eve purchase from Star Action Figures. So I can't remember how much this was. It was really cheap, like $6.99 or something like that, $7.99. Really good figure. Again, similar to the last two Mandalorians that I opened. Really like these figures, but you've got to be mindful of costs. And it wasn't something that I was interested in buying, because I'm not really into the Clone Wars. But after seeing the last two figures, I'm quite excited about this one. What's it? So it's the Mandalorian Super Commando. Looks like it's the same sculpts. Looks like it's got exactly the same weapons as the other two I opened. But yeah. So what is it? So the wave on the back. We've been through this recently. Trying to think. I think I've got all the figures on here, including Anakin Skywalker. No, I haven't got Reva. To be honest, I think from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, didn't really buy many figures, but Reva didn't really do it for me. I didn't really like her. Boba Fett Morak, that's a good figure. Really like that one. I think that's one of my favourite figures from the vintage collection line, if I'm honest. But this is VC243, so it's been out for a while. And again, I picked up two of these guys, one to open, one to display. So yeah, it's quite, the card back feels quite thick, so it must be like the new stock. I've got to be honest, the image isn't great on the front. I think they could have done better. But no, look, if it's anything like the last two figures that I opened up, I think this is going to be a really good one. It's got a nice paint application on there. I like the red, but plus I like the sheen on his armour. It looks quite metallic. Battle damage on there as well. So let's get this bad boy open, just like it's Christmas 1984. Right, so let's do this. Right, so let's have a look there. Yeah, that looks like a really decent figure. It's got a really nice sheen to it. Really nice sheen, and I like the armour around his knees as well, with the old battle damage. Looks really good. So let's get him out of his packet. Right, that's a really decent looking figure. It's almost I'd say the colour is like gunmetal and red, with the standard jetpack on the back. Yeah, it's a really nice nice design. But yeah, it's exactly the same as the other two guys. Weapons are exactly the same, so I'm not going to go through the weapons. I really like that. Be interesting to see whether the weapons actually fit in his gun holsters. Because I had problems with the I can't remember what their names were. But let me set his weapons up. So I'm not going to go through the weapons because they're exactly the same as the last two. So let's just set him up. Right, so here he is. So strangely enough, this gun here fits perfect, nice and snug, and similar to the I think it was. I've got to check the names. Similar to the first Mandalorian I opened, his gun, it just doesn't go in there. So I'm sure I can do something with it, but I don't know. don't know if anyone else has had the same issue, but the gun just does not fit tight. I mean, it's tight, but it just doesn't fit properly. It's like it's not big enough or not wide enough to fit his gun, which is a bit strange. But that's the second figure that I've had that issue with, because they're all the same sculpt, and on exactly the same side. But yeah, everything else is exactly the same. I'm not going to bother going through all the articulation because it's exactly the same as the last two. But I really, really like it. It's a really decent figure, but I really like the paint application on this. I think it looks really, really good. And I do like that gun metal. I think that's a nice touch. Yeah, really, really pleased with this. This is this is another 10 out of 10 figure. I don't know why they always seem to end up being 10 out of 10. Apart from that Stormtrooper with tripod, which which I still maintain's rubbish, but I'm going to give it another go. Apparently, I must have had a dodgy one, so I think I've got another 3 of them that I bought from Forbidden Planet, dirt cheap. The Stormtrooper and Cannon. So I might give that another go. So watch this space. Stay tuned for more action figure reviews. But yeah, this is a decent figure, so I'm just going to set him up. So here's the Mandalorian Super Commando with his 2 Mandalorian buddies, and these are the 2 guys that I opened up recently. I think these were the last 2 figures that I did actually open up. So so as I mentioned, these were all part of my Christmas Eve purchase from Star Action Figures on Christmas Eve. So I mean, currently I can't remember for sure how much I paid for them, but currently this Mandalorian Super Commando is going for $7.95 at Star Action Figures. So that's still a really, really good price, and it's a proper quality figure, even if the gun doesn't fit in his holster properly. One other thing I've noticed is that the smaller guns, which I've set him up with, they don't actually they don't stay tight in his hands, if I'm honest. That could have been a bit better, so that's a bit disappointing, but I'd still give it 10 out of 10. So that's $7.95. Let your eyes be your guide. Definitely worth picking up. And they've Star Action Figures. They've still got the the Super Commando Captain, and he's the guy on the right with the Darth Maul horns. He's going for $5.95. Definitely worth picking up. And then you've got the Airborne Troop. The Death Watch Airborne Trooper, and he's my favourite out of all 3 of them, because I just think the colour and the paint application looks really, really nice. And he's I didn't pay that much for him. I think I probably paid like £6 or £7, but he's going for $10.95. Again, it's still a good price, so you should definitely pick it up while it's still in stock. Now, there's a figure I didn't get round to getting from Star Action Figures because it wasn't in stock. It was sold out pretty quick, and we're talking like we're talking last year. But it's the it's from the Mandalorian. It's the is it the Death Watch Mandalorian? So I did want to buy him, but it was always out of stock. Now he's still, obviously because he's from the Mandalorian TV show as opposed to the Clone Wars, he's going for $15.95, which is not a bad price. But at the moment, I'm not paying full price for Star Wars figures. I'm just sticking to the peg warmers. It's all about cost. I'm just I've got my holiday coming up. I'm just taking it easy at the moment. But I do know that Forbidden Planet are selling that figure for $10.95. But I doubt they'll have it in the store unless you go to the big one in London. And if you do order online, you got to make it worth your while. You got to make sure you order other stuff, because Forbidden Planet, I think it was £5. They now charge £5.50 for delivery. I believe it's £5.50. So what is the point in just buying one thing if you're going to pay £5.50? You might as well just buy it from Star Action Figures. Although Star Action Figures also charge you, but it's free if you spend £50 or more. So it's definitely a figure I'm interested in getting, because it's the Mandalorian's back on TV. But yeah, highly recommended. Let your eyes be your guide. 10 out of 10 any day of the week. Yeah, definitely worth picking up. But that's the end of the video. So I haven't gone into too much detail because it's exactly the same sculpt as the other 2 guys. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It lets me know you care, and I will see you in the next one.